Right everyone, today I'm going to be showing you all how to easily counter GL Kylo with your very own GL Ray teams. As I've mentioned before, I know a lot of you felt very scammed when CG tweaked GL Kylo, making him the superior choice for PvP, long after many of us had already poured massive amounts of resources into GL Ray. But you all no longer need to feel that way. I'm going to show you all a team today that has a 90% plus win rate on GL Kylo. Personally, I've never lost a match with it, but I don't like to say 100% just in case there's a loophole somewhere. So without any further delay, let's get started. So first up, as always, we're going to be looking at the mods and Zetas you're going to need for this team to work. As usual, I've made zero effort to remod these guys from what I already have on them, as it's tedious to have to repeatedly remod your roster. The good news is, a few of these guys are not modded optimally at all. However, on key team members, mods will be very important to make sure this team functions as intended. In terms of Zetas, you're going to need 3 of gases, which are his lead, basic, and chosen one unique. The lead is going to provide a steady damage increase to himself and 5s, the basic is going to give him a more powerful second hit on his basic, and finally his chosen one unique is going to help him reduce Kylo's max health, making him much easier to take out towards the end of the battle. You're also going to need all of GL Ray's Zetas except for her leadership, given that we're going to be using gas lead for this team. In addition, you'll need Chewbacca's loyal friend Zeta, which is going to provide health and protection recovery to himself and guarded allies at a steady rate, and you'll also need Han's shoot first Zeta, which will allow him to hit twice with his basic. I would also recommend 5's Domino Squad Zeta. While not mandatory, it will help him take more turns during the battle, as whenever an ally is hit that isn't him, it will grant him some turn meter. Not mandatory, but nice to have nonetheless. The one drawback of this team is you will need relics on most of the team. However, these are all top tier characters, or are required relics for other purposes anyway, so it's 100% worth the investment to get this team up and running properly. Moving on to the mods, we're going to start with the team's leader Gas, who we have modded with a crit damage and crit chance set with a total of 282 speed. Be sure to mod him with a focus on offense and crit damage along with speed. He's going to spend a lot of the fight on the ground, but his damage is very nice to have later on in the battle when trying to finish Kylo off. As mentioned earlier, he's also going to be key to reducing Kylo's max HP, so we can actually kill him off. Up next is our 5, so we have modded with an offense and a crit chance set with a total of 205 speed. It's extremely important to mod him with offense where possible, even on the arrow, and health on the circle. We need to make sure his total health and protection is lower than Gas's, so that he'll gain guard from Chewie. This is key for winning the battles on offense. For defense, some people prefer guard on Gas, and if this is the case, then be sure to make sure Gas has the lower combined health and protection. I prefer 5's having guard though, and modded offensively, as I find his counterattacks very useful for killing both Kylo and members of his team during the battles. Next up is Archui, who we have modded with a crit damage and crit chance set with a total of 231 speed. I don't have anything special on him at all, just a very average set. He performs his role perfectly with what I have, so I didn't want to improve his mods at this point in time. His main purpose is to stay alive and provide guard. Kylo is only going to ever hit him with his AoE, so as long as you have a bit of lifeblood from Rey, he won't have any issues surviving. Up next is our Han, who we have modded with a crit damage and crit chance set with a total of 197 speed. For him, you're looking mostly for damage, as he's going to be one of your main damage dealers against the rest of the team early on. Be sure to focus on offense on the cross and arrow, with crit damage on the triangle for a general build that won't need to change much for other areas of the game. And finally, we have our GL Ray, who we have modded with 3 health sets with a total of 501 speed. Be sure to focus on health in the primaries and secondaries once you have a decent speed, as the main purpose in this squad is to provide lifeblood to the team and to use whirlwind on the enemy's primary tank. If you have her ultimate ability, this will also be useful at times when one of your team is unprotected by lifeblood or about to die. I however don't have the ultimate yet, and I'm having zero issues using this team to destroy ultimate Kylos. So moving on to the actual battle, you're always going to want to start by stunning either Thrawn or Hux with your Raid Han. It turns out roughly the same regardless though, as if you stun Hux, Thrawn will just cleanse him almost instantly. If your Gas survives the opening attacks, you're going to want to put Rey's first lifeblood onto him to prolong his time in the battle, although he will likely not get a turn due to stuns at this point. If he's already down, then place it on 5's. After this, you're likely going to be stuck behind a taunt. In this case, we have Crew, who's in almost any team, but sometimes Malak will be present too. If he is, I recommend ignoring Malak until Rey's first whirlwind to avoid mass fear. When 5's takes a turn, be sure to call Han to assist against Crew, so we can get some turn meter reduction on him. Around now is when Rey should be ready to use her second lifeblood. You will need to place this on Chewie to make sure he keeps bonus protection, otherwise it's likely he could be killed soon, which makes the battle a lot harder to win, as we're relying on guard on 5's. After this, you just need to keep focusing on Crew until Rey's next turn, where her whirlwind will be ready to use. Be sure to use this on Malak if he's present and Crew if he isn't. So at this point now it's just a matter of hitting Crew until Gas can stand up and finally take a turn. Usually in these kinds of battles you won't be able to kill him without Gas or Whirlwind. Once Gas is up, use his middle ability, and often the AoE should deal some significant damage to both Crew and the rest of the team. After this, be sure to call Gas to assist with 5s if possible to help finish off Crew. Once Crew is finally dead, it's time to deal with Kylo, which is easy at this point as long as the full team is up. It's as simple as just hammering him down with damage. During the battle, he will always target 5s if Gas is kneeling. This is due to Kylo's AI, which is still coded to target 5s to prevent sacrifice from going off. However, it doesn't seem to be able to tell it wouldn't be an issue for him in this scenario. The only damage you have to worry about is his AoE, which should not be a problem for the rest of your team if you place Lifeblood correctly on Chewbacca early on. In this next battle, we're going up against another GL Kylo team. This one is going to be significantly quicker given they're not actually running Crew or another tank. Once there's nothing in your way in these battles, it's important to take out Hux as quickly as possible, as he grants GL Kylo massive amounts of turn meter. With no tank blocking us, this should not be a difficult task. Once he was dead, I went for Thrawn next and then quickly dispatched the rest of the team before moving on to GL Kylo. So as you can see everyone, this squad is a hard counter to GL Kylo. There isn't really any RNG at all to rely on, and it's very easy and simple to win battles. When there's no tanks to slow us down, it's also extremely fast. As you've probably noticed, this battle took us little over a minute. In the next battle, we're going to look at one of the most common GL Kylo teams. I personally feel the Malak variant is the most annoying, but that's only because it takes longer as opposed to actually being a challenge, which none of the Kylo teams are for this counter. So this is the most common GL Kylo comp, featuring Thrawn, Hux, Crew and First Order Officer in his team. It's very simple here as it plays similar to our first battle, except this time we're going to take out Crew with Whirlwind, then move straight onto Hux as there's not a second taunting tank we have to get around. It's going to play pretty much the same up until that point. Stack the second Lifeblood on Chewie as usual and do your best to control Crew and just keep pouring attacks into him until your Whirlwind is ready. Not much else you can do at this point. Once Crew is down, take down the rest of the team, starting with Hux as quickly as possible once again, and then we can finish off their GL Kylo. And it's as simple as that everyone. I also forgot to remind everyone that you cannot crit against them while I have advantage, so be sure to keep Chewie's AoE to help dispel when needed, especially at the end. Also, you will likely have tenacity down from Chewie's basic on GL Kylo, which is going to allow speed down to land from 5s and constant turn meter reduction from Han Solo's basic, which is really nice for slowing down Kylo's attacks. With that all out of the way, as usual I'm going to show you all a quick slideshow of the mods from the previous 3 battles in the order they were played. I would also like to add there's a good chance CG might tweak Kylo's AI again to prevent this counter. I really hope not, as these teams are an absolute nightmare to kill with anything else, and nothing else even comes close to being a hard counter, so let's hope they cut us some slack and leave this well alone. They've already treated GL rate owners like trash through this meta, and this team is pretty much the only silver lining we have. And that's all for today everyone. I really hope you all enjoyed this video and learned how to finally counter GL Kylo with your GL Ray teams. This is by far the toughest meta we have ever had in this game. I'd also like to give a shout out to Moonshade from Scruffy Looking Mallrats Guild, who is a member of our shard, for bringing this team to my attention. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this is a massive breakthrough, and as long as left untouched should be able to help anyone with a GL Ray who's been struggling to fight back and retake the wins we were cheated out of when GL Kylo was buffed. As always everyone, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, join my Discord server and share the video with your friends. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you all very soon.